Alright, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Rechak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone. I'm your brother, Rabbi Nap, coming out with a lesson. Lord's will, this is edifying to the Lord's elect. I'm just listening to somebody talk about how Keir Starmer is the Prime Minister of Britain or UK. He about to quit or something like that. Let's see what's in the news though. Anyways, let's see what's in here. Let's see what they're talking about. They never talk about anything relevant, man. You gotta really search deep for things now. It's not like they're gonna tell you let's see the top stories. Nancy Guthrie, latest final deadline looms in kidnapping of Savannah Guthrie's mom. So that's the, you know how many kids are missing a year? But Guthrie's mom is more important than all these kids that have been missing year after year after year. Foolishness, man. Duck leaves Republicans guessing on midterm plans as outlook darkens. Oh, everyone's guessing. Everyone's guessing about what the Duck's gonna do. We know what the Duck's gonna do, man. Okay? He's gonna take away your rights. He's gonna set up a gray state. He's gonna persecute you, man. Start World War III. What else is there to know? 20 years is a death sentence. Son of British media tycoon jailed by China says. Who the hell is this? 20 years is a death sentence. What's this? The son of Hong Kong media tycoon Jimmy Lai has called his imprisonment by Chinese authorities essentially a death sentence. The 78-year-old British citizen was sentenced on Monday for 20 years after he was found guilty of national security offenses last December, marking the harshest sentence to be given under the city's controversial national security law. Lei was one of the loudest critics of China, often using his pro-democracy paper Apple Daily as a tool of protest. He has always denied the charges against him. Sebastian Lei, his son, told the BBC that he believes his father is being punished for defending the freedom of Hong Kong. Oh shit. See, that's that wine. That's that he in Hong Kong trying to fight for democracy. Okay, where did he learn that from? He learned that from America. Now he's locked up. He's calling it a death sentence. That's what you get. It is a death sentence. Everything that has to do with the so-called white man is a death sentence, man. Niggas in Hong Kong hoping democracy can so the same shit that's happening over there can go happen over there in Hong Kong, which was a British state when you look at it. So those Hong Kongian Moabites from Hong Kong, man, you got Esau's mind. You look like a Chinese person, but you got the mindset of a stupid ass European man. Look at the Europeans, man. They're fucking dumb as shit. Look at Emmanuel Macron, for example. He's a whole damn flaming sodomite, and he's ruling. Y'all voted for that? So that just goes to show you. Look at Donald Duck. Look who they vote for. Niggas giving all your information to Israel. Got you protesting and shit. So these people don't know shit. Ben ain't know nothing, man. The Lord put a guise over everybody, make him think that he's somebody. He's the scum of the earth. Okay, as a matter of fact, I think in the book of Ezekiel it talks about some scum. But let me listen a little bit more about this Moabite in Hong Kong for a second. This billionaire tested China's limits. It cost him his freedom. Jailed HK tycoon's teeth rotting and fingernails falling off, Garner tells BBC. As a British citizen, Sebastian told BBC Radio 4's Today program that Lei deserved much more. Surely a man who has given so much for liberty, for freedom, deserves a bit of it himself, Sebastian said. Yeah, okay. There is no freedom, man. You're in captivity. That's what the so-called white man does. He puts you into captivity, but he tells you it's freedom. And you people, that's like in Venezuela, they were protesting. They were so happy. They're like, oh, you took away the oppressor. They thought Maduro was the oppressor. Maduro ain't conquered the whole world, man. All right, Maduro ain't do shit but start dancing and shit. He wasn't really about shit. Not that he wasn't about shit. He was more for his people than this nigga's gonna be. He gonna take your order. He's gonna find a way to oppress you. That's what he's doing. That's what Israel's doing with y'all. They're taking your money and then they're taking away your rights. That's a form of oppression. And that's what you niggas get. Hey, you gotta clap it up for the small hat, man. You're doing a great job, man. I never thought you'd backdoor your own brother, but hey, man, I'm all for that. I'm all for that. I know I talk a lot of shit about you, but you're doing a great job, man. Make Israel great again. That's what you ultimately do. You're making us great. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna draw them into a fight that they cannot win, and we're gonna win. And then we're gonna rule over you, and then we're gonna oppress you by keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments that you people can't keep. Okay? You having to not mess with little boys and girls, that's oppressive to this nigga, man. You having to sleep with your wife, with your woman, yeah, you gotta be with your wife, man. We're gonna be doing the same shit you did to us, just on a much greater scale. You used to put us in slavery, you used to make us sleep, with multiple women and so you can have this big, he still does that shit today. That's why you got these basketball players, man. Them niggas are 7'2". They had to, look at Wimby, man. What the fuck is that, man? Dude is fucking 7'9", man. I wouldn't be surprised if Esau created that, man. Niggas bigger than everybody in the whole game, man. That shit don't make any sense. And it also goes to show you that we were a lot taller back then, too. We're getting all of that back. But we're going to be doing the same thing to Esau. That's going to be oppressive when he has to sleep with his wife in order to bring back his nation so we can enslave him. I'm like, what the hell? I got to sleep with her? That's oppressive. When he can't rob and steal anymore, that's oppressive. When he can't charge you 24% on your credit card loans and extra on your house, land tax and all tariffs and all this shit, that's oppressive. He can't write unrighteous decrees. That's oppressive. Okay? So that's what's gonna happen to the so-called white man. That's gonna really hurt him. When he has to keep the Sabbath day holy, oh my God. Woo. He gonna love the Sabbath day, man. He gonna love it. That's the only day he gonna get rest, man. He gonna have continual employment every second and hour of the day until the Sabbath, man. All right, right now he's sitting back, got his feet kicked up, making money upon money, taking your money, taking your wealth, taking all the forces of the Gentiles. That's his blessing. You spending your whole life for serving a pedophile. But you know what? I'm glad that he's oppressing you so-called white people. That's what the fuck you get, man. I'm actually really happy. I was thinking about it. I don't like the nigga at all. But as long as he's making you motherfuckers sick, hey, man, it's all good, man. Keep doing it. Netanyahu, you all right with me, man. You got Duck pulling out the chair for you and everything. That's beautiful, man. Rock his ass to sleep. He know who his master is. He know who his head is. He know he ain't in charge of shit. He know Israel run this shit, man. Hell out of here. You don't run no banking system, nigga. You saw what he did at JFK. Blew his brains out. He was in a Cadillac. Blew his shit. His whole shit was like split wide open. Guess who did that? The small hat. Okay, he got pictures of this dude playing with little boys and girls. He ain't gonna be able to do that anymore. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear fruit, the people mourn. That's why they mourning. And he gonna be mourning when the righteous are in authority. And then he gonna be told what to do. He ain't gonna be pushing no monkey propaganda. He gonna be the monkey in that time. Okay, I'm gonna tell that motherfucker to do the monkey dance, motherfucker. Nigga. Bust his shit. Can't wait, man. All praises to the Lord for that, man, for giving us the heathen for an inheritance. This was in the Lord's mind. He wanted to give us this. He knew we're gonna punish them the right way. Esau can't punish you the right way, man. He did what he had to do. He created Babylon. He conquered. He oppressed you, right? Now this shit's gonna be destroyed. Then he going to work. Then he's gonna be destroyed. And what the Lord does with him after that, who knows, man? I think he's gonna turn you Edomites into women. That's what I think he's gonna do. Because that's what you want to be. It's like I told you in Revelation, the 17th chapter. That's just my opinion. I'm just being, I'm speaking as a man. That's why I think that's gonna happen. He's gonna turn you, after he destroys your whole nation, Those spirits that were created, he gonna do something with them. Cause y'all are estranged from the womb. I think he gonna actually give you. He gonna put you probably. He might even make a new nation. Who knows, man? Who knows, man? A nation of concubines. Let me grab this in Revelation, the 17th chapter. I'm going off, man. Every time I think about this nigga, man, I can't wait for him to be destroyed, man. I hate this nigga, man. The fact that he's ruling and the shit that he's doing, they don't put that shit in the newspaper. What the fuck they doing with taking all these pedophiles out of power, man? They ain't doing shit about that. Okay? But he wants people to get revved up, and that's good. You should get revved up. But you should be revved up in the fact that the Lord is going to destroy this place. All this wickedness, it need to come to an end, man. All these games and psyops, whatever it is, it needs to come to an end. All this fake money, monopoly money this nigga created, needs to come to an end, man. We need to go to just balances and just weights, righteous laws, righteous decrees, okay, righteousness. Wickedness, it don't bring you nothing but death anyways. And you're gonna know that. And you so-called white people, you're gonna learn it the hard way, and that's a good thing. You need to get your ass whooped, okay? You need it. Your parents don't whip your ass and tell you everything's good. No, everything ain't good, nigga. Everything ain't good. You're the last person that should be in power, man. You need to get your ass kicked. You need your ass whooped. Bunch of slaves running around here, damn, just running amok all throughout the earth. I can't wait to round that nation up, man. We're gonna round you up. We're gonna put handcuffs and shackles on your kids. Yeah, you're gonna be locked up for being a damn devil in the earth. Devil shouldn't have no time to be loose. Even though the Lord allowed you to come out, according to Revelation, the 20th chapter, so you could deceive the whole world. And you deceived the whole world, but now that deception is being revealed. Because the Lord sent his elect out there to go teach this word and wake people up from this damn slumber and sleep we've been in. We've been drunk off this shit. And that's why you got Moabites in Hong Kong mad at the fact that they're trying to bring democracy to a place where that shit don't even exist. Now he's locked up. And that's what his ass get, man. Because there ain't no democracy. And then when the Lord comes, ain't gonna be no democracy then either. What you got to say? I see Chinese lettering. Can you speak Peruvian? Yup. What are you talking about? Listen. Hello from Bali, bro. What's up, my brother? Shalom. Said hi. Hi. Yay. That's right. Be a good boy and avoid the comments. Only sharing your opinion, okay? I'll avoid the comment. I'll avoid it. It's my channel. I can do whatever the hell I want. If I don't want to look at your stupid ass comment, I don't have to. You ain't saying nothing anyways. You a devil, man. Go watch somebody eat fucking soap. I saw somebody online eating soap, man. Nigga had 1,000 people watching him eat soap. Go watch that, man. You wanna come over here? What's your Shark Slayer? Let's look at your channel. What do you do? Channel activity. Channel activity. I'm racist. Joined 8 years ago, 337 subscribers. What you be talking about, Shark Slayer? I might wanna, you slay sharks or something? Racist ass, so we got problems with white men, huh? What are you talking about? Yeah, nigga, I do. Get the hell out of here, man. You ain't, listen, man, you internet motherfuckers, man. You gonna pay too. You're a fool. You, first of all, this is how dumb you are. You actually think there's white people. You people are stupid as hell, man. You probably actually see a black person, man. You people are dumb. It ain't about white and black, man. There's no such thing as that. That's called a social construct that the so-called white man created. So he deceived you. That's how dumb you people actually are. You actually think there's white and black people in the earth, man. So your whole worldview is skewed. You don't know shit. This is the type of people we talking about, man. This is Listen, he think he defending somebody that don't even exist, and this is what's wrong with you. And that's why pedophiles they set your curriculum up like that, so you can talk like that, say shit that don't even make any sense. You don't even know you're so dumb. They brought you down so low, you can't even come to the conclusion that you're looking at somebody that's brown skinned. You don't see brown, you see black, because it's called cognitive dissonance. That's what he's giving you. You're a fool. Okay, you're probably an Edomite too. That's why you're getting offended. There's nothing white about the so-called white man. White goes into purity. He's not pure from nothing. The nigga done look at his history. Look at your history. It's a disgrace, man. And this is a deserving, shameful spewing on your nation. We get it. We get it all the time. And I'm not saying that two rights make a wrong. What I'm trying to tell you is, in all actuality, it's the opposite. Okay, you're really black. Black going into evil. Black going in darkness. You're wicked. So we're just putting the titles in the circle where the circle goes, the square where the square goes, the triangle where the triangle goes. The devil where the devil goes. Okay, the righteous where the righteous goes. That's all we're doing, putting things into place, putting things into perspective. Because when this whole system comes out, I don't want to be walking around trying to put this square into a triangular hole, man. So I can be destroyed. No, I'm gonna understand that you niggas are the devil, right? And I'm gonna deal with you according to the word. All right? And that's what, and I'm not even talking to people like you. People like you, man, you can die, man. You can go hope a shark bites you, man. Shark Slayer. You got all these, what the hell you, someone named Shark Slayer, what you doing on my channel, man? You think I'm trying to bring people together, man? Them days are over. You saw what bringing people together brings, man. Nothing but wars, confusion, racism. Okay, and all that shit's new shit, man. We always went to war, man. Always. It's not a new thing, and it's not gonna stop because you got a YouTube channel with 387 followers watching you lick shark fins, man. Probably doing some evil shit too. Probably selling it to the Chinese. I don't know what the hell you're doing. They want to allow me to look into your channel. But you ain't standing up for righteousness. You ain't doing nothing. Joined 8 years ago, 337 subscribers, but he on my channel talking shit. Shut the fuck up, man. What the fuck would you think? You think white people got a monopoly on racism? Get the fuck out of here. Now, people hate that nigga too. People don't want to see his ass rule. People want to see him be destroyed too. Just like you want to do with you so-called. Some people want to see the same shit happen to him. See him go into slavery. See his kids get dashed to pieces with stones. Dashed against the stones. That's what he did to us. You don't give a fuck about that, right? Now it's let bygones be bygones. But when it comes to your kids, then it's let bygones be bygones. Get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here. I ain't hearing that dumb shit, man. Wish I could just smack you in real life, man. You sound stupid as hell. Anyways, let me hear about Moab just a little bit more. It says Foreign Secretary Yvette Cooper has said the UK government intends to rapidly engage further with Beijing on Lay's release. I again call on Hong Kong authorities to end this appalling ordeal and release him on humanitarian grounds so that he may be reunited with his family, Cooper said in a statement on Monday. She added, "We stand with the people of Hong Kong." U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio called the sentence an unjust and tragic conclusion to this case and similarly urged authorities to grant Lay humanitarian parole. Yeah, you ain't coming out, man. You probably going into hardcore slavery. You probably got, they got different, I can't imagine being locked up in China or Russia. He probably got to really break rocks. He probably got a big ass golden ball piece of iron chain to his right leg. He probably in the chain gang, man. Okay? And that's what's gonna happen to you either, man. We're gonna make you work, man. And guess what? You're gonna deserve it if you understand scriptures. You understand that all these things, the nation, we had to go through all that shit. All the shit I'm talking about, we had to go through all of that. We had to drink the cup, man. Woo! Now we look at us, man. Look how much better we are, man. Look at us now, man. Look how smarter and wiser we are now. Okay, so it makes you better. Affliction is good. It's not. It don't feel good while you're going through it, but then you're better. Let me grab this in the book of Ecclesiasticus. Oh, let me finish this. It says the sentence shows the world that Beijing will go to extraordinary lengths to silence those who advocate fundamental freedoms in Hong Kong, he said in a statement. So, oh, there's a lot more. Okay. Hey man, it is what it is, man. Ain't no democracy. Standing up for something that's the problem with this world, man. Democracy's going in the people ruling. The people's rule. That's not the case. I'm not voting for a pedophile to rule over you. To have this shadow government to be over you, so you don't rule over anything. Another white person taking pictures. They love taking pictures of things. Maybe they see a monkey. They think it's a zoo every time they see a black person. That's what they used to do, is to put us in zoos. We're gonna put you on display too. Okay. What's wrong with that? Oh, I'm racist. Okay. I'm racist. You let me be racist, nigga. Give a fuck what you niggas say. Roman heathen, you back, huh? Okay. Oh my God, I'm the only person in here. Beijing, LOL. Being stupid is like being dead. It's only painful for others. Talking to the snow. He's scared to read the comments. Ha 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 ha. Heathen, Roman heathen. That's just like the devil, man. Just like the devil. A Roman heathen. Let me grab this in the book of 1 Peter 5 verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. So that's what the devil does, man. Your adversary, roaming about, seeking whom he may devour. Okay, so you gotta always know that there's a war, there's a battle that's ahead of us, man. You got enemies out here, man. People that don't want to see you prosper. All right? Roman heathen, he getting water, and he's a damn heathen. He might be a Jake too, who knows? Who knows, but he finds this shit entertaining. He thinks it's funny to see so-called people being called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. He likes that type of shit, man. He ain't speaking up for the afflicted. He ain't speaking up for the people who suffered the most in this world. He finds entertainment in coming up against the people who are, though. That's what he does. That's where he gets his rocks off at. You know? He think this is about people watching you and shit. I don't give a fuck who's watching or not, man. You don't read Isaiah 55? Let's go there real quick. Give a fuck who's watching. Isaiah 55 and 1. Who have believed our report, and to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed? So who's going to believe our report? There's a report, there's a doctrine, there's a belief system that's out there, but not everyone's going to believe it. The so-called Negro, Latino, Native American man, they rather continue to be a slave. It's easy to be that. What I'm doing might seem foolish to them, but through the spirit, they understand. They're weak. They think in their head, damn, I can't do nothing against this so-called white man. Can't beat them, join them. That's how they think. But the Lord gave you the victory. But they don't believe in the Lord. They rather trust in the so-called white man's God, who's a fucking abomination to the Lord, man. That's an abomination. The figure that he made up of the Lord is an abomination. So who will believe our report? It's not for you. Damn sure ain't no nigga named Roman heathen. Isaiah 55 and Salakia. What I read? That's 53, Salakia. Isaiah 55 and 1. Oh, everyone that thirsteth. Yeah, everyone that thirsteth. That's talking about you Israelites in captivity who don't know who you are. It tells you in Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, that you like a dry bone. Okay, so you really thirsty. You don't know it though. Come ye to the waters. This is the water or the doctrine of life. This is how you get life, man. This is how you get your nationality back. This is how you know who your Lord is, who your power is. This is how you come back to the covenant that you made with the Lord. Okay, you got to come to the waters. And he that have no money is talking about the poor. You don't have any money. The poor is another word of describing the Israelites, you know, the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American men. They don't have any money in this world. They might have some money, but the money that they have is fake. Esau runs this shit. Okay? Poor as a nation. Come ye, buy and eat. Yeah, buy and eat. Okay? Buy and eat this word. It tells you that in Revelation, the 10th chapter, Ezekiel, the 2nd chapter, you got to eat this roll, man. Okay? Which is the knowledge, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Yea, come buy wine and milk. Wine is it's symbolic of philosophies, but it's also symbolic of the deeper understanding of the scriptures. Okay, you drink the wine. It's knowledge, and the milk is the fundamentals of the scriptures, the basics, like knowing who you are according to the Bible, knowing the name of the Lord. That's the milk. Knowing who your enemy is, that's milk. Knowing who Esau is, knowing who you are, you know. But then once you start digesting that, you can start to get into more heavier things like who the Gentiles are. That's a stumbling block to the rest of the world. You know, they hear Jew and Greek. I heard a Christian man break this down. I was like, damn, man, he don't really got any water. But he knows about the Jews, but he don't know about the Gentiles. He's saying the Greeks represent every other nation in the world. You know? But the only way you would know that, you got to go into the book of the Maccabees and learn about the, you have to learn about the Maccabean period. Okay? In 1 Maccabees, the 1st chapter, with Antiochus Epiphanes, who's made it illegal for you to say that you were a Jew. Okay? Isaiah 55:1, without money and without price, you can't buy salvation, man. Okay, that's a gift. You can't buy this wisdom. That's a gift. You can't buy the spirit. That's a gift. That's all from the Lord. The only thing you can do is humble yourself and hope that the Lord and pray and learn and pay attention. Seek the Lord 10 times more now that he may be found. That's the only thing you can do at this point. And then he'll increase you and build you up through the spirit. And then you'll be able to recognize who is who. You'll be able to have discernment. Just because somebody says something doesn't mean that's, you know, there's a lot of different stumbling blocks the Lord got out here. Like race. People look at race, that's a stumbling block to these people. Okay? Bible don't really talk about race like that, even though race is important, because if you're an Israelite, then that means you go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which means this covenant is for you. But if you're an Edomite, like the so-called white man that we describe, we call him so-called because he's actually red. He's an Edomite. Okay, according to the Bible, God hates his ass. Fully profane, man, which means they're outside of the temple. Okay, that's why the majority of their people are homosexuals and their birth rates are going down. So these are signs that they're going to be destroyed, and they only got a short time left. They can't even reproduce. How pathetic. Okay, and these are the people that are going to come down with great wrath on you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, because your forefather Jacob supplanted Esau for his birthright and his blessing. So he's a two-time loser. Okay? So he wants to take it out on you, but the Lord's going to lift up a standard and he's going to be destroyed. Isaiah 55 and verse number 2. Wherefore do ye spend money for that which is not bread? Yeah, you spend money for that which is not bread? You know, it's a question mark. That's what you spend your money for? For that which is not bread. This bread is what's going to really sustain you, man. And your labor for that which satisfieth not. Yeah, you labor with that which satisfieth not. The things you work for don't satisfy you. You go to work you went to work last week. Now today's Monday, you're going back to work to do the same shit you did last week. You couldn't even enjoy the football game yesterday, man. These niggas suck. You know, it's just pathetic, man. All this shit is just distractions from shit that's really happening in the world that nobody's talking about. Real major issues. Like this internet, man. People come on this shit, what do they use it for? They use it for wickedness. Okay, like this nigga here is just pathetic. And tomorrow's gonna be somebody else. It's always some damn devil, man. Alright? It's really a demon that they hate the word. That's why they sit here and they watch. You know? That's all it is. Satan said put a spirit on on somebody like that so he could ultimately condemn himself and to try to disrupt the word. Okay? But he can't, because he's a low-level demon, man. Isaiah 55:2, hearken diligently unto me. Yeah, hearken diligently unto me that listen to the Lord, man. Okay? You gotta hearken diligently. And eat ye that which is good. So it tells you in the book of Psalms, I can't remember exactly where it is. It said, taste of the Lord and that he is good. It is good when you hear about the true doctrine of the Lord, man. He's a righteous power. He's not going to do anything in iniquity. Everything that the so-called white man reaped, that's what he's going to get. And what has he reaped? Wickedness, ultimately. Okay, so he's going to get paid back with that. Death, stealing, robbing. So all these things are coming to him. That's why it's good to work and sow your seed, man. Sow those seeds of righteousness by being obedient, by diligently seeking the Lord, and not just down here doing whatever the hell you want to do. It tells you in the book of Ecclesiastes 12, verse 13, the whole duty of man is to keep the commandments. So that's the whole conclusion of the whole matter right there. And that's what you're not doing. Okay, that's why you don't see a lot of so-called Negroes, Latinos. You ain't even got no beard on your face, man. That's a simple commandment you can keep. That's an act of faith. Okay, teaching your people, that's an act of faith. Showing them about righteousness compared to wickedness, that's an act of faith. That's what our nation did as a whole. We were about righteousness. We weren't about what the so-called white man like. That nigga like money and all types of abomination. He's an abomination. You shouldn't be learning anything from him. Everything you learn from him, throw that shit in the trash. Your degree, burn it up. Okay? And go put on for the Lord. Alright? That nigga don't work for the Lord. That nigga work for Satan. Isaiah 55 in verse number 2. And let your soul delight itself in fatness. So let your soul delight itself in fatness. Okay, you're supposed to be eating this. This is what you can overindulge in. Is learning about the Lord. Going into different prophecies and breaking down words. Going into the Greek. Going into the Hebrew. Shit, go into the Latin too. Go into everything. Get as much as you can while you can. Because there's going to be a time where this word's going to stop. On the Amos, the 8th chapter. So ain't going to be no talking on the internet about crackers and shit, man. Alright? I say that to get the undesirable out the way. Okay? It tells you in the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 11. Let me grab this. 2 Corinthians chapter 11 in verse 6. But though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge, but we have been thoroughly made manifest among you in all things. So though I be rude in speech, but not in knowledge. Okay, I study and I'm diligent about this word, man. I'm not here to fool around with this word, man. Okay? Sometimes when you talk like that, you see the undesirables make their comments on the board so you know who was who. This is all spiritual. Okay? It's not for everybody. Isaiah chapter 55, verse 3, incline your ear. Incline your ear, man. Listen. That's how you incline your ear. And come unto me. So you come unto the Lord. He's the one that's going to teach you and feed you. Hear and your soul shall live. So that's how you live. Well, faith cometh by hearing. Let me grab that. Hear and thy soul shall live. Let me grab this in the book of Romans, chapter 10. I'll start at 15. Actually, no, let's start up. Romans 10 and 11. For the scripture saith, whosoever believeth on him shall not be ashamed. So people look at whosoever And they just think whosoever. But you got to read Isaiah the 28th chapter. Precept must be upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. When you look at that word whosoever, you're supposed to go through every single scripture where that word whosoever was used to get the context of the scripture. And when you do the study, you're going to go to Acts 2, right? Let's just jump there real quick. Acts 2 and 20. It says, no, Acts 2 and 21. And it's outside of 20. Acts 2 and 20. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before that great and notable day of the Lord come. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. So he's using it in Acts 2. Okay? Romans is after Acts. So the word whosoever was used in Acts 2, right? But listen to this, Acts 2 verse 22. Ye men of Israel, hear these words. Yahushua Nazareth, a man approved of God among you by miracles and wonders and signs, which God did by him in the midst of you, as ye yourselves also know. So he was talking about back in the book of Romans. So don't let any man deceive you. You got to know this word, man, better than anyone else. A lot of people who have those talking points is because their mind is still defiled with the precepts of men. Learn that from the so-called white man. They still, everyone learns something, and you gotta cleanse yourself, man. You gotta cleanse yourself, man. And but it comes from hearing the word. Romans 10 in verse number 11 again. For the scripture saith, whosoever believeth on him shall not be ashamed. So, like I said, okay, you believe on him, y'all shall not be ashamed. But that word whosoever, like I said, when you use it in context, and when you read Romans 1 and 7, it tells you to all the saints that be in Rome, called to be saints. So this whole message is told to the Israelites of Rome. Just like today, this message is to the 12 tribes of Israel scattered abroad, just like it tells you in James. What's that, 1 and 1? Okay? So Israel's still talking and reaching out to the nation of Israel. Okay, the Lord's sending out prophets, that's who they talking to. He ain't talking to these other heathen to repent. They're not going to repent. You see, I just put out an article of a damn heathen all the way in Hong Kong trying to stand up for democracy. Where did he learn that shit from, man? From the damn heathen, from the damn white people, crackers, Edomites. The one that Roman heathen loves so damn much, man. Those people are going to slavery. Now, not everyone that's white's going into slavery. That's not what I'm saying here. Okay, some people that look white are Israelites too. Some people that look Chinese are Israelites too. Some people that look black are Edomites. Some people that look black are Moabites. It all depends on your bloodline. But it's the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. So that's how you get quickened. That's how you get made alive. Going back to Isaiah, the 55th chapter, for all those that thirsty. People that need to be made alive are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It tells you in Proverbs 21 and 16, he that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. So if you don't know who you are, you're dead. You don't know who your Lord is, you're dead. You're not connected to the power source. Anything that's not connected to power, eventually it dies. So we're just trying to reconnect you back to your power, that's all. Just an outlet, man. You gotta plug in, man. You gotta get this word. Okay, it's very simple. Romans chapter 10 and verse 12. For there is no difference between the Jew and the Greek. For the same Lord over all is rich unto all that call upon him. And you listen to a Christian, he tells you, yeah, there's no difference between the Jew and the Greek. Yeah, the Jew and the Greek. The Greek means everybody else. But he's a fucking fool. Let me grab this in the book of 1 Maccabees. And then you tell him about the book of Maccabees, he ain't even fucking, oh, well, that's not Canaan. You know? You gotta go, hey, it ain't for me to teach you, man. It's a hidden book. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. Let me grab this verse in the book of 2nd Esdras. 2nd Esdras, I think it's 4. No, it's not 4. Woo. I forgot where it is. those that be wise. I forgot where it is. But basically he goes into some of the books are hidden. Think of it right now. My hands too cold to really search for it. So everyone's not gonna get it, man. But the Greeks, let's go to First Maccabees, like I said. Maybe it'll come to me, maybe it won't. First Maccabees 1:40. 1:41. So this goes into the Greeks. Okay? This is the history of why they're being called Greeks, okay? First Maccabees 1 verse 41, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. Antiochus is a so-called white man. All should be one people. That's what the so-called white man tells you today. And everyone should leave his laws. Yeah, you should leave your laws. Every religion that has your laws and all that, just like the Israelites, they had their own laws. Yeah, you should leave that. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. So just the heathen are in agreement with the so-called white man. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion. And that's what y'all do now. You consent to his religion. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You can come under the banner of being one, under Jesus Christ, the so-called white man. That's you consenting to his religion. And sacrifice unto idols and profane the Sabbath. And that's what you do. You sacrifice unto idols and you profane the Sabbath. Okay, you go to church every Sunday. Every Sunday is not the Sabbath day. This goes according to the moon. First Maccabees 1 verse 44. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land. Yeah, you should follow us Greeks. Us nasty, stupid ass Edomites. Who only got power because the Lord gave us the sword. Yeah, you should follow us. Yeah, we be butt fucking each other and doing all types of fucking beast. Yeah, the same shit you see today. Little kids eating human meat. Yeah. You should leave your laws for this. First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 45. And forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days. So you should profane, yeah. The Sabbath day, what day is it this week? Yeah, don't take it, don't follow it that day. No more Sabbath days. Okay. Oh, you got Passover coming up now. You ain't celebrating that anymore. All right. And pollute the sanctuary and holy people. So he wanted to go, that sanctuary, man. He wanted to pollute it. That's the history of this nigga. Oh, I want to go inside the temple and desecrate the temple. That's him. Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts. And swine's flesh, he likes to eat the pig. That's why he wants you to, because now you're the temple, so he wants to get pork inside of you. Just like he did with the actual temple. Yeah, if you're going to sacrifice, you got to sacrifice unclean animals to your God. Like we do. Because we're unclean. We're profane. You got to do as we do. That's what the so-called white man wants you to be like. Because he's a beast. He's a devil. First Maccabees 1 verse 48, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised. So you can't even circumcise your children. So it shows you just how deep the so-called white man is, man. Circumcision was given to Abraham as a covenant. Now you can't do that anymore. So this was a big deal what he was saying, man. To the end they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. And that's what they want you to do. Forget the law, change all the ordinances, celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, Christmas and Easter and all this nigga's wicked holidays. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he should die. So he'd kill you. right? So he had you do all that. Maybe I'm thinking 2nd Maccabees, the 6th chapter. Let's go there. Ptolemy. But Antiochus Epiphanes, they all the same thing. 2nd Maccabees chapter 2, verse 6. Not long after this, king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers and not to live after the laws of God. So that's so-called white man again. This is a different white man, though. This is Ptolemy or Ptolemy. Okay. So he didn't want you to keep the laws just like Antiochus Epiphanes, and them two had war with each other. And to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem. So same thing, he wanted to pollute the temple in Jerusalem. And to call it the temple of Jupiter Olympus, and that in garrison of Jupiter, the defender of strangers, as they did desire that dwelt in the place, because that's what so-called white people believe in. Myths, you know, Greek goddess and fake shit. The coming in of this mischief was sore and grievous to the people, for the temple was filled with riot and reveling by the Gentiles, who dallied with harlots, and had to do with women within the circuit of the holy places, and besides that brought in things that were not lawful. So they were having parties in the temple, sleeping with women inside of Jerusalem in the temple. Okay, he wanted to defile that place. The altar also was filled with profane things, which the law forbiddeth, like swine's flesh. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient fasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. So that's why they call themselves Greeks. It was illegal for them to call themselves Jews. So this is years before we even get into the New Testament. Okay? So that's the difference between the Jew and the Greek, man. So these were Israelites who, under the Greek captivity, when it was illegal to call themselves Jews in order to live, they called themselves Greeks. And they started to follow the ways of the heathen. So then they had to be converted back to keeping the law, statutes, and commandments again. Understanding the value of being there, keeping their own heritage. Okay, just like today. Okay, but this word's not for everybody, like I said, man. If you deny the Maccabees, then you're not going to understand the Greeks. Even that, not a Jew even said something about the Greeks. He was saying how his forefathers had to keep the laws and all of that, man. At least he knows it. At least he's giving, he understands the Maccabees. Okay? So he's well aware of not a Jew is not a fool. Alright? Because he actually knows scripture. Even though he don't know who Amalek is. The fact that he's bringing them up, hey, that's good. That's good. Let's see what this nigga said. Ha ha ha. Imagine being so insecure that anyone that disagrees with you immediately the devil. Ha ha ha. Book of Nehemiah, chapter 2, verse 19. But when Sanballat, the Horonite, and Tobiah, the servant, the Ammonite, and Geshem, the Arabian, heard it, they laughed us to scorn and despised us and said, what is this thing that ye do? Will ye rebel against the king? Then answered I them and said unto them, the God of heaven, he will prosper us. Therefore we, his servants, will arise and build. But ye have no portion, nor right, nor memorial in Jerusalem. That's right, you have no portion, nor right, or memorial in Jerusalem. And they laughed us to scorn. Just like the heathen do, just like this nigga named Roman heathen. He laughing me to scorn. You have no portion, nor right in this build. What I'm building here, man. We building up the people, man. You trying to take us down. You have no portion here. You have no business here. This word's not for you. Right? The book of Ezra, chapter 4, verse 1. Now when the adversaries of Judah and Benjamin heard that the children of the captivity builded the temple unto the Lord Yahweh, God of Israel, Then they came to Zerubbabel and the chief of the fathers and said unto them, Let us build with you, for we seek your God as ye do, and we do sacrifice unto him since the days of Esdras, king of Asher, which brought us up hither. Yeah, let's build with you. We believe in the God that you believe in. That's all the heathens say that shit, man. They don't believe in the Lord. Look at their customs, man. Get the hell out of here. Dude's willing to go to jail for democracy's sake, but he ain't willing to stand up for the Lord. Just like a heathen would do. Ezra 4:3. But Zerubbabel and Jeshua and the rest of the chief of the fathers of Israel said unto them, Ye have nothing to do with us to build a house unto our God, but we ourselves together will build unto the Lord Yahweh, power of Israel, as King Cyrus, the king of Persia, have commanded us. Yeah, you have nothing to do with us, man. No, you heathen got nothing to do with us, man. Just keep it moving. Nobody needs to listen to this, man. All right? I don't care if you don't listen or not, man. It's called prophesying to the wind. Or as you call it, talking to the snow. It is what it is. Okay? Ezra 4:4, then the people of the land weakened the hands of the people of Judah and troubled them in building. That's what you're doing. You're just troubling us in building. You're trying to trouble, cause some confusion, cause some strife. Well, you got the #1 crown on my common boy, and this ain't for you. This ain't for you, man. You're coming over here for nothing. Ezra 4:5, and hired counselors against them to frustrate their purpose all the days of Cyrus, king of Persia, even until the reign of Darius, king of Persia. So that's what the heathen do. They're here to frustrate the purpose. But I'm not frustrated by them. Do what you got to do. Anyways, that's what the Greek is in Romans 10:12. Romans 10 verse 13, for whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. There goes that word whosoever again. Going back to Acts 2 verse 22. Ye men of Israel, hear these words. Okay, this is Israelites talking to Israelites. This is what the whole Bible's about, man. John 3:16, the heathen want to sneak themselves. Nah, you ain't in this, man. You ain't in this. They covet wanting to be like Israel, man. They talk shit, but it's in their spirit, they really wish they were like you. They wish they could suffer afflictions like you. They make it look like it ain't really like they down low, but they still in a good spirit because we always gonna be like that. Esau hates. That's what he really hates about us because we love the Lord. So you want to separate us from our power, but you can't. And nothing he's done has been able to do that. All this death we went through, all the transatlantic slave, nothing can stop us, man, from the love of the Lord, man. Nothing. That's why he's trying to implement the MOTB. He's going out of his way to try to get you away from your power, man. That's why you got to get built up. You got to really know who your power is. Okay? Israel got the zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. Okay, meaning that you know there's a power, but you ain't serving them correctly. You're not obeying them because you don't have the knowledge to. Romans chapter 10, in verse 14. How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? Yeah, how you gonna call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? How you gonna believe in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua? You never heard his name. And how shall they hear without a preacher? So you need a preacher, okay? Someone to preach the word to you, man. All right? Let's look at this word, preacher. Some of y'all think, oh, I go to church. It says to be a herald. What's a herald? Look up. Messenger. An official messenger bringing news. A person or thing viewed as a sign that something is about to happen. So it sounds like a prophet. To officiate as a herald. To proclaim after the manner of a herald. Always with suggestion or formality, gravity, and an authority which must be listened to and obeyed. To publish, proclaim openly something which has been done. Use of the public proclamation of the gospel in matters pertaining to it, made by John the Baptist, by Yahushua, by the apostles and other Christian teachers. Okay? You gotta be like a herald, man. All right? This ain't. That's how you hear. All right. Somebody got to go do this work. Somebody got to go look like a fool. Somebody that got to go out in the cold. Somebody that got to go talk to the snow, as this nigga said. Somebody that just talking to himself. That's how you hear the word. That's how the Lord gets his word out. But nobody's listening, and he'll feed his elect through that sacrifice. That's what it's about. But these heathen don't understand that. This is the book of Romans chapter 10, verse 15. And how shall they preach except they be sent? So you got to be sent. Okay? And how do you get sent? The Lord sends you. As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings of good things. And glad tidings is going into the good news. This is the gospel. All right? This is the gospel, man. How beautiful are the feet. Because that's your path, man. So someone taught you this like they washed your feet, and then that's what we're doing. We're out here washing your feet so you can walk. Okay? So you can be cleansed. That's a beautiful thing. When you hear these words for the first time, it's a beautiful thing. All right? I ain't worried about the damn heathen, man. He's probably roaming around right now. Romans chapter 10 and verse number 16. But they have not all obeyed the gospel. For Isaiah saith, Lord, who have believed our report? And I read that in Isaiah 53. Who have believed our report? Going back to Isaiah 55. Not everyone's going to believe the report. It's not for you to believe. It's for you to be destroyed. Isaiah 55 and verse number 3. Incline your ear and come unto me. Hear, and your soul shall live. And I will make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David. So you're going to make sure mercies of David. David did things that was worthy of death. And guess what? Did he get put to death? No. He was saved. He had mercy. He died on his deathbed. Okay? Isaiah 55 in verse 4, behold, I have given him for a witness to the people, a leader and commander to the people. Behold, thou shalt call a nation that thou knowest not, and nations that knew not thee shall run unto thee, because of the Lord Yahweh thy God, and for the Holy One of Israel, for he hath glorified thee. And he glorified you with this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Okay? Him giving you that, you glorifying him is glorifying you too. He's glorifying you by you glorifying him. It's a glorious thing. It's glory on glory. All right? You worshiping the true power of Israel in the midst of all these damn stupid ass heathen, these damn dogs and rams and lambs and goats. Okay? He got you standing upon your feet. It's not just watching the news and not having understanding. Now you can match it up with prophecy now, which don't make you a conspiracy theorist. It makes you a prophet. Okay, when you can filter it through the scriptures. These people don't know shit. They laugh at things they ought not. Isaiah 55 in verse number 5. Behold thou, verse number 6. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. So you got to call upon the name of the Lord. Let the wicked forsake his way. The wicked right there is talking about you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and you speckled birds out there who don't want to obey the gospel. Okay? You got to forsake your way. The shit you learn in this world is backwards. These heathen, all their ways lead to death. There's only one way to life, and it's through our Lord Yahweh Shai. That's it. Every other way, every other door is death. All right? Isaiah 55 and 7. In the unrighteous man is thoughts. The unrighteous man is talking about you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You got to forsake your thoughts. It tells you in the book of Jeremiah 17 and 9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? So your heart, which is your mind, is desperately wicked. Okay, it's going to have you go off. So you got to constantly be meditating on the scriptures. Okay, you got to constantly be seeking the Lord. Because this world is always polluting you, man. With shit on the internet, people that you speak to in the world, these people are polluted. They're defiled. They don't have the Lord in them. And the majority of them are gonna die. So don't get too attached to these pieces of shit. But you're gonna find rest in the Lord, and He's gonna exalt you, and He's gonna save you. Especially in this time we get close to the end, man. That's why all these pedophiles, Esau, the so-called white man, is being exposed for being the devil, which we always knew, but it's worse than what you thought, because you niggas still pray to him. So you people are gonna die, man. Praying to this nigga, and then you're gonna end up on his plate. Yeah, this nigga eats human meat. This nigga is a heathen. He's the worst of them all. You look at the Elam, the East Indian man, you think, damn, this nigga put his feet in your rice and in your soup, and you think that's disgusting. Esau's worse than that. Okay? The shit he does is way worse than what these heathen do. He put his feet in a soup that has kid meat in there, man. He probably mixing it up with cats and dogs too. That nigga does all that shit. And before he even eats it, he'll fuck the dog and the cat, then make a soup out of them. So that's Esau for you. Put human faces on and dress up as goats and shit like that, man. Bowing down to owls and... So this nigga gotta go. All right? He gotta go. Isaiah 55. Verse 7, let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto the Lord, Yahweh. By Hashem Yahushua, you gotta return unto the Lord. In all caps, talking about the Most High God, but you can only do so through his Son, which is Yahushua. And he will have mercy upon him. So he'll have mercy upon you if you return. And to our God, for he will abundantly pardon. So no matter what you've done, he'll abundantly pardon. Okay? Even if you're a flaming faggot, only the Lord can make you come up out of that. But it's still, he said he gonna have mercy on who he's gonna have mercy. You learned all that shit from this fucking devil. That's what this fuck he's been over here. 1619, that's going over, it's too long, 400 years. If the Lord don't destroy this nigga, all flesh won't be saved, man. Calling an airstrike on this place, man. Destroy everybody here. They like this place, man. They got no problem with what's going on. They're gonna vote for the next pedophile in a couple years from now. They're gonna keep going to these pedophile rings and praying to the God in there, confessing their sins in a booth, to a faggot, to a homosexual pedophile, a demon. No, I'm asking the Lord to destroy them and their altars and their temples, like you're supposed to do in Deuteronomy the 7th chapter. Let me grab that too. Deuteronomy 7, in verse 25. The graven images of their God shall ye burn with fire. Thou shalt not desire the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it unto thee, lest thou be snared therein, for it is an abomination to the Lord thy God. So when you took over these different nations, they used to deck their gods with silver and gold. You ain't supposed to covet that shit. That's what you people do when you go serve the so-called white man Jesus Christ, like them niggas that were Genesis. Two niggas that now he willing to take his hat off for the so-called white man, but when it came to the Lord, he had to keep his hat on his head and cover his head. So that's why I call them two niggas. Ignorant. But the real nigga is really the so-called white man. He's the ER. He's the Nigger that he calls you people. Because we understand through the scriptures, there was no such thing as before Esau came. He bears the mark of Cain. Okay? Okay? Because, you know, with the flood, Noah was black. Shem, Ham, and Japheth, black. He came through Isaac because after the flood, wickedness had to continue. Destroyed everybody, and still was able to raise them up because that wickedness had to fully manifest itself. Deuteronomy 7 verse 26, neither shalt thou bring an abomination into thine house, lest thou be cursed, lest thou be a cursed thing like it, but thou shalt utterly detest it, and thou shalt utterly abhor it, for it is a cursed thing. It's like those Christmas trees that you bring into your house, man, that's a cursed thing. You're supposed to detest shit like that. You're supposed to protect your house from idols and shit like that. But you don't. You think that's holy. Isaiah 55 in verse number 10, for as the rain cometh down and the snow from heaven, and returneth not thither, but watereth the earth, and maketh it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower, and bread to the eater, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. So, you know, earlier in this video, I was having somebody talk shit about me, say I was talking to the snow and things like that. And it is what it is. I don't mind talking to the snow, man. All right? I don't mind that, man, because I understand that the Lord's word doesn't go out void. Just because somebody's not watching now doesn't mean they ain't gonna watch tomorrow. Shit, it might even be a year from now for somebody. It don't matter if you watch it. That don't mean nothing. If you actually understand, and is the words, the messages for the elect of Israel. We do all these things for the elect of Israel. Those of us out of the nation of Israel who's going to receive the word and prosper, they're going to hear it, they're going to understand, it's going to unlock, and you're going to get the name of the Lord, and you're going to be sealed to make it. All right? That's who this word's for. It's not for a bunch of people, a bunch of reprobates online, man. These people, folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in a low place. Okay? And that's us. And we're rich in faith. Okay? I've seen servants upon horses. So the so-called white man is the servant. It tells you in Genesis 25th chapter that the elder shall serve the younger. But now he's sitting upon the horse, and you sitting in a low place because of breaking these laws. But you about to be exalted when the Lord destroys this place with all these plagues he's about to send here. Isaiah 55 and verse number 12. For ye shall go out with joy and be led forth with peace. The mountains and the hills shall break forth before you into singing, and all the trees of the field shall clap their hands. That's right. That's the creation being happy to see you get this. Because it tells you in Romans the 8th chapter that the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of God. So the creation's waiting for the elect to wake up too. Because they're tired of this fucking devil. They're tired of how he's destroying different animals, ecosystems, and the sea. He's destroying the whole earth. And according to Revelation 11 and 18, destroy those who destroy the earth. So that's talking about the so-called white man. The one who wants to get out of climate change and build instruments of destruction that can change your whole climate. So once he gets uprooted and burnt up, hey, then there's going to be peace in the earth. And the rest of the creations, they're going to rejoice over that. I just want to rejoice again. But right now, we got to stand in the house of mourning. We got to suffer just hearing about the wickedness that's going on. It talks about faithful Lot and his filthy communication. What did he say? Let me grab his precept. Filthy communication that Lot had to hear, KJV. I forgot the precept. It's giving me multiple precepts. Let me see this. Ephesians 4 verse 29, let no corrupt communication. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Colossians 3 verse 8, but now ye also put, no, that's not what I'm looking for. What filthy forgot the priesthood. Yeah, this is it. 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 7. Actually, let me go up a little bit. Second Peter chapter 2, verse I started 5. Actually, I started 6. For if God spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment. That's angels are talking about ultimately the sons of God. Okay, they were in the garden and then what? They came all the way down to being in these chains of darkness, which is describing these bodies that we're in. Okay, we're in these bodies because we sinned against the Lord even way back then. Okay, you might blame it just on Adam, but it tells you in the book of Ecclesiastes, the 10th chapter, as the ruler is, so are the people. So we all were going off, and it tells you in Genesis that we started going with the daughters of men. Okay, so that helped us go off, because now your kid is, you haven't going with the heathen, and the mother's teaching them how to be a damn heathen. That's why it's important who you have kids with. All right. 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 5. And spared not the old world, but saved Noah, the 8th person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly. Of course, the old world is the world before the flood. Okay? But Noah, being a preacher of righteousness, Noah building an ark when it never even rained before. So that seems foolish to the people. So when you hear people scoffing up, hey, that's a beautiful thing, man. I love to hear it. Okay? Because that's the same mindset of the wicked that were then too. When they heard the prophets, they were just scoffing up at them. It is what it is, man. These things we gotta suffer, but we're gonna be exalted above all measure. So at the end of the day, just like it tells you in Matthew 12, verse 36, every idle word these heathens speak, they're gonna pay for it in the time of judgment. So it's good that they scoff. I can already see that's their condemnation. It tells you in Jeremiah 6:30, reprobate silver shall men call them, because they have been rejected. When you don't receive this word, it's not because of me, it's because of the Lord. It's not because of you either. You've been rejected from the Lord. That's why you say things like that. 2 Peter 2, verse 6. And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemning them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly. So he destroyed them with an overthrow of thermonuclear destruction, but he didn't use missiles. Okay, he manipulated the elements and created fire and brimstone out of the elements and dropped it on Sodom and Gomorrah. But now he created a waster to destroy, which is those scientists who created the thermonuclear missiles. And those missiles are going to be used to destroy the country that you live in here in America. And it needs to be destroyed, because just like Sodom and Gomorrah, what are they doing? All types of sexual lust. Who knows? It doesn't really get into too much detail. You know about the Sodomites and different sexual perversion, because of Lot's testimony in Genesis, the 19th chapter. They were trying to have sex with the angels. So that's the type of people they were. Okay? And this is worse than that. This is worse than that, man. And there's way more Jeffrey Epstein. I heard there's like 3 million more. So it's probably more than that. It's probably more than that. They're probably still doing this shit right now. This is probably still going live and ready. The shit you're hearing about is old shit. There's new victims. There's new people getting on the list every single day. People are going to school. They still got degrees to go, what do you call it? Science, political science degrees. So more victims ready to go. Sign me up. Y'all people going to school for that shit. These schools are still open. You still for it. So you got future victims ready to graduate, ready to be degraded. You still got fraternities, or whatever you call them shit. You people don't know what the hell's going on in here. You can't trust these people, man. Everything's been infiltrated. Every group you're in got some agent in there. Get the hell out of here, man. You trust and love everybody. Foolish. This is the point. 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 7, and delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. So he delivered just Lot out of Sodom and Gomorrah. Just like he delivered just Noah, or he's delivered his sons and their wives, and he destroyed everybody else. So that's the type of mercy I'm looking forward to in the future. Lord's will, I'm a part of that number so I can be delivered. Isaiah 55 and verse 12, for ye shall go out with joy and be led forth with peace. The mountains and the hills shall break forth before you into singing. And all the trees of the field shall clap their hands. Let me grab this in Romans 8, since I brought it up. Why is the mountain and hills? Mountains and the hills and shit like that, that's all the creation. You think that there's no spirit to everything you see. You might look at snow and think nothing. Nah, everything's alive, man. Everything it has a spirit into it. Everything. That's how the Lord sees everything, man. I forgot the precept. It goes, heaven and earth is a witness against thee. So the whole world's speaking up against the sins of the nation of Israel. Okay, and now they're suffering just like us. But at the same time, when we get exalted, hey man, the world's gonna, you can't even imagine what the world's gonna be like in that time. All right? Different animals, come on, man. The world's gonna give us its strength, man. All the beautiful rubies and beautiful things that the Lord has, it's gonna give it to us. Because it belongs to us anyway. And when I say us, I'm talking about the nation of Israel. I'm talking about the Israelites, man. I'm talking about the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. I'm not talking about a Roman heathen. That Roman heathen gonna roam his ass to death. Okay? If he's not an Israelite. Because Israel will be talking shit too. You probably can't repent though. Romans 8 verse where is it, man? I damn near highlighted the whole Romans 8. I can't even find the precept. I highlighted the whole chapter, man, like an idiot. I love this chapter, man. Romans 8 and man, where are you? Yeah. Romans 8 verse 19. For the earnest expectation of the creature waiteth for the manifestation of the sons of God. So the earnest expectation of the creature is the creation. Okay? It's waiting for the, manifestation of the sons of God. It's waiting for it to be evident who the sons of God are. Okay, it starts with this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, because this wisdom belongs to them too. That's the elect. Okay, they're waiting for that. Any more on that? Let me see. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who subjected the same in hope. Because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of God. So even the creature wants to be out of the situation. I saw a tree. Esau had a tree with a cage around it, and some of the cage was like inside inside the tree. Like it's like he locking up trees. Like this nigga he's a demon, man. So when we see things like that, it really irks our spirit. It goes far beyond his skin color, man. We don't think like you heathen. We got a whole different mindset. That's why we say so-called. Okay? So-called, man. You're a red. You're an Edomite. That's who we hate. That's who the Lord hates. And I hate what the Lord hates with a perfect hatred, like King David does. And you got to have the same mind to have received the mercies of David. You got to be like David. That nigga Esau is going to be destroyed. And it is very simple, man. You don't like it, oh fucking well. Go fuck yourself, man. Let me grab this in the book of Isaiah 14, but I gotta go. Isaiah 14. In verse 4, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how have the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. The king of Babylon is pretty much talking about Esau, man. Okay, he's the king of Babylon. All right. Isaiah 14:5, in Babylon's America. The Lord Yahweh broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. The staff goes into your stability. That's what you use the staff for, right? Your stability is going to be has been broken, and the scepter of the rulers is your power. The king holds a scepter. That shows you that he has authority. He's the king. Only the king got the scepter. Okay, he's the one who's making the decrees. He's the one who's making things happen. Isaiah 14, verse 6. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. That's Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. He smote the people with a continual stroke. He continually oppresses you. Okay? He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted. So he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted. That's the so-called white man. He's going to get persecuted. And none hindereth. Yeah, no one's going to help him when his ass gets brought down. When his ass is going through slavery. Nobody going to hinder that. Everyone's going to be in agreement, even the heathen. The heathen always get in line with whoever's in power. That's why the so-called Chinese Moabite man is in Hong Kong talking about freedom and democracy. That's spiritually he's showing you who's in power. Right? He ain't fighting for his own people to rule over himself, see? Because he's a demon. And judgment's being executed. He got judged. That's what he gets. And anyone that's going for that wicked shit, you're going to get the same thing that he got. Isaiah 14:7, the whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing, just like it tells you in Isaiah 55. The whole earth is going to break forth into singing. Okay? When this nigga gets persecuted and none hindereth. Isaiah 14:8, yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. That's right. Since a feller is someone who cuts down trees, no feller is come up against us. Trees is a representation of people, according to Psalms, the 1st chapter. Okay? Let's go there. Psalms chapter 1:1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. Yeah, scorner. Someone who come up against the truth, like some of these people on the comment boards. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. Yeah, I'm always meditating on the scriptures, man, as much as I can. When I don't have to go into the world, go back to work, go serve the so-called cracker man, Esau, Edom. I don't want to put no money in this nigga's pocket. Get the hell out of here. But we gotta work. We got bills, we gotta do what we gotta do. But having wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, we understand all these things come from the Lord anyways. He gives you the ability to eat, put food on your table, put money in your pocket, pay your bills and things like that. He's the one sustaining us. So it's really all coming from the Lord. I work for the Lord. Okay? Psalms 1:1, and he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water. So meditating on day, and you be like a tree planted by the rivers of water. Isaiah 14 talks about no fella is cut us down, since thou have been laid down. Okay, so trees are likened unto people. That bringeth forth his fruit in his season, his leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. If you are a tree planted by the rivers of water, you're constantly absorbing the water, and you're going to prosper, you're going to produce fruit. But trees that are far away from that water are going to wither away and die. Just like a lot of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Lord got set up puddles. This is like a flow. It's like a rivers of water. It's going on the internet. Okay, we're casting a line. It's a pool of water, man. It tells you in the book of Proverbs 5 verse 15. Actually, let me finish this. The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. That's right. The ungodly, they're not planted by the rivers of water. The Lord is far from the chaff, man. They're just tumbleweed going down the street. There's a lot of these people. And there's a whole pool of water in the wilderness right over here. People are just tumbleweeds all flying by. Okay? Psalms 1 and 5. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. That's right. No sinners in the congregation of the righteous. The ungodly shall not stand in judgment. If you don't stand in judgment, it's because you're going to die. Who shall abide? What does he say? Who shall abide? I can't grab the precept, man, but it's basically saying who's going to abide in judgment, man? Those who the Lord justifies. Psalms 1 verse 6. For the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. So the way of the ungodly shall perish. And that's talking about you wicked. Everybody that's wicked. Okay? Isaiah 55 and 13. It says, instead of the thorn shall come up the fir tree, and instead of the briar shall come up the myrtle tree. And it shall be to the Lord for a name, for an everlasting sign that shall not be cut off. That's right. So instead of a thorn, a tree. Instead of a briar, another different tree. So these different trees that are not going to be cut off. But anything that's like stubble, thing that can get burnt up, things that are not by the rivers of water, it's going to perish. Okay, it's very simple. But I'm going to end it here. Lord's will, this is edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakak Wadash, Shalom, Ba'ad Babal, and Kwame Asherah.